Welcome back to the Gardening with Joe and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Missed any of those coupon codes? Want to find out more about the sponsors? You can certainly do that. Go to our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Money tab and the Season 9 tab at the top of the page. Well, Holly, people grow traditional cucumbers and beans and zucchini every year. There are a number of quote-unquote uncommon or unusual vegetables in which one can grow in their garden in pretty much many zones across the country and be successful at it.
Absolutely. So we've grown a number of, I think we've grown all these. Yes. So the first one, I don't know, a lot of people seem to know about it, or some people do, is sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes. And this is a root crop. It's in part of the dahlia family. It does put on a pretty flower, but you're not eating the flower, you're eating the root. And the root is kind of, it's like a
gnarly looking potato.
Yeah, looks like a gnarly potato. And it tastes like a less starchy potato with like a little bit of sweetness to it. Not really. And if you roast these things, especially like in a pot roast, and that kind of au jus of the pot roast, they get this like really buttery taste. But we've also cooked them in the air fryer.
In chips now.
Yeah, like in chips, yeah.
You take, and no matter what you do, no matter how hard you scrub the dirt off, they're still going to have a dirt flavor.
They're very earthy.
So you want to peel that as much as you can. Then for the air fryer for Jerusalem artichoke chips, you can peel them and then dice them or cut them in chip-like sizes, rub them or douse them with olive oil, and then put them in the air fryer for however long you want them to go in and to the doneness that you want, from very loose to very crispy, soft to crispy. You can have whatever, and they taste, there is a little hint of that earthy flavor to them, but it really is a different type of potato chip or chip that you want to, type of dish.
Yeah. And so speaking of more root crops, yacons. So yacon is a South American root crop that we actually grow here in the upper Midwest. And it doesn't get as long as growing season as in South America, obviously. But it is another root crop. It's a little bit less starchy of a potato. I think this definitely has a sweeter flavor.
It has a watermelon apple carrot flavor to it. It looks like a sweet potato when you dig it up. In South America, you can get 15 to 30 pounds per plant. They grow up here 3 to 5 pounds in zone 4, 5, and 6. I've seen them. We were in 5. Now we're in zone 6. They will put a flower on if allowed to grow for 6 consecutive months. We've missed that opportunity by about 3 weeks in 2016. They can be, you have yacon, what is it, syrup?
You could make yacon syrup. We made yacon pie.
What, yacon?
Was that the pie?
Yeah, it was the pie. Again, you peel them, and then you can dehydrate them and make chips out of them as well.
We fermented sunchokes, not yacons.
Right.
Yeah.
These yacons, they propagate by rhizomes in which you save in the fall before they freeze. You bring them inside, put them in the sand. We put them in sand and put them in the stairwell of our attic where it gets 35 degrees even on the coldest days. That sand keeps it like a refrigerator. And then in the spring, 90 days before you're going to plant them outside, we start them in cups and then take and plant them out. And we've been doing this. We got 2 starts from a nursery in Oregon in 2014 and have been carrying on the generations year after year with these.
I remember the yacon syrup now. So Acas, this is that's a root crop, right?
Right.
Yeah,
spell that out.
OCA.
Uh-huh.
These are kind of weird looking. They kind of look like, I don't know, like chunky potatoes in a weird way, but small.
Giant
like
marbles.
Like marbles strung together.
Yeah, they're different colors. And we grew them for 1 or 2 years, I think it was. The challenge that we had was that they needed to grow. They grew like a big bundle above ground. It looked like a big wad of clover. And it needed frost or freeze, I forget what it was, in order for that to die off. And then over that 48-hour period, they like doubled in size underground. and they're red and they're white and they're yellow and they're orange, and they're all different types. And they're native to the Andes. They are related to the potato. We grew them for I think 2 years, and then we ate them all and we didn't save anymore because they were such a challenge for us to grow, store. They're one of the more difficult plants that we've grown in the storage process and the time frame and the whole thing that went along with it.
I would definitely agree. So then there's the Spanish radish.
Spanish radish, it's black and it takes about 55 days. It's very different than a traditional plant radish that you grow.
Yeah, it's I forget how big it gets, but it's most radishes are usually red or white, or there's like the Easter egg radishes, which are kind of pastel color.
They're black, but they're white on the inside. And you can get these seeds. You can grow them pretty much anywhere. And we tried growing them one time, and I don't know why we didn't try to grow them. They're black Spanish radish, also known. They've been in the U.S. since the early 1800s, and it's just basically a very different looking type of radish. You would think it was a beet, unless you knew what you were growing.
Yeah. That makes sense. So this is some of these are, the next couple ones are ones that maybe people do grow, but it's like not everybody grows them and they're lesser known.
It's not the 1940s anymore.
Right, basically. Or like kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is very popular among, I think, German people, if I remember correctly, because of some dish they make. They make this like baked kohlrabi dish. Kohlrabi is a part of the brassica family, so it's not a root crop. It grows above the ground, and it looks like a green baseball with a bunch of different limbs coming off of it. Yeah.
Kohlrabi, kohlrabi.
So it's part of the kohl family, which is the brassica family, which is also related to cabbage, broccoli,
kale,
all that. And it does taste like a cabbage, kind of.
It's very dense. People would I'll utilize it as cutting up in very thin pieces. You can pickle it, but also you can use it in stir fries, and it does have a very cabbage-like flavor to it. There are two varieties. There's a green and there's a burgundy. The green takes 50 days. The burgundy takes 55 days. And you can utilize the leaves of the kohlrabi, and they are more nutrient dense than the actual kohlrabi itself. However, by the time you harvest the kohlrabi, typically the leaves have been eaten up by bugs. And you don't want to wait and try to get, my kohlrabi is the size of a softball.
No.
It is going to be so woody that you're going to be able to use it for foundation of your new house.
This makes me want to get kohlrabi from the farmer's market because we haven't grown it for a while. It is good.
You can get it from starts as well at your garden center.
Right. So turnips, say on rutabaga. These are another root crop. They have, I think that turnips and rutabagas have kind of a less starchy potatoey aspect to them.
But an earthy flavor.
Yeah, but a lot of people who eat low carb will make like fries out of turnip and rutabagas. I think rutabaga is a little bit bigger, so that's probably what
rutabagas take 90 days, turnips take 60 to reach maturity.
There you go. I can't remember which one was bigger. So I like rutabagas. Do you like rutabagas?
When you bake them, yeah. I'm not going to eat them like an apple.
I remember when I was getting my associate's degree in my late teens, early 20s.
Back in the day.
I lived in the dorm. It was one of the only tech schools in the state.
Tell us more stories, Mom.
That has a dorm. We had a little bit of time. And my friend's parents lived like, I think 30 minutes away or something. And we went to go visit her mom. And she would
giant kohlrabi farm.
No, they didn't have a kohlrabi farm. Stop it. You're ruining the story.
Okay.
So we got there and she was like, I got these vegetables from the farmer's market or something. It was like fall. And she was like, I got you potatoes, and then I got you this kohlrabi. And I was like, what in the heck is a kohlrabi? And this was
you never heard about this.
No, right. Yeah, this was like the early 2000s. So it's not like I had
year 2000.
I didn't have a cell phone because, we didn't have, I probably had a cell phone, but
you were going to Google it, but before Google was Google.
Yeah, because when did Google come around? 2005, I think? I forget. Anyway, whatever. That's not important. So anyway, so then as we were getting ready to leave, she's like, and by the way, make sure you wash that kohlrabi because I dropped it when I was driving and it fell underneath my car seat and I don't vacuum underneath my car seat. It's like, what does she do when she's driving? She drops it while she's driving. She like just drive around holding the kohlrabi.
It's your friends.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, rutabaga, whatever it was. It was kohlrabi. So anyway, I don't even know what happened. It's not like we had.
Did you remember eating it?
I don't think I ate it. I think I was kind of scared of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we worked hard to get through that one.
Because you kept cutting me off. Anyway,
it would have been better
if you enjoyed my story. Please tell me.
Yeah. Would have been better if you had found a kohlrabi farm with a Bigfoot. Now that summer is here and the temperatures are warming up, it's time to protect your yard from those various beetles, weevils, and borers, including, yes, Japanese beetles.
And what better way to prevent these pests from destroying your garden than by controlling them while they're larvae? Grub Gone is an easy-to-apply granule product that can be spread on your turf to successfully control grub invaders. Developed by Phylum Bioproducts from naturally occurring bacteria, Grub Gone is a non-chemical BT product that specifically targets only scarab pests, and it's safe to use around bees and other beneficial insects.
If you've already got those beetles flying around your yard, and some of you do, Beetle Gone is the organic water dispersible powder that can be sprayed directly on your edible plants. Find out more at beetlegone.com. That's beetlegone.com.